Joe McMoneagle, you spent over 12 years as an Army intelligence officer in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. You've survived 3 assassination attempts. Army Intel performed a fake funeral on you. You survived over a decade in a job that has a 20-month life expectancy. After your field service, you were tapped for a highly classified black project connected with the development of the first remote viewing program for the United States Intelligence Service called Grill Flame, later renamed Stargate. You have provided time-sensitive and actionable intelligence for the CIA, the DIA, the NSA, the FBI, DEA, NRO, National Reconnaissance Office, NASA, U.S. Special Operations Units, Joint Chief of Staff, the National Security Council, and the White House, among other agencies that we can't even bring up. You have remote viewed everything from classified submarines to hostage situations and even Mars. Many call you a psychic spy, but you are remote viewer number 001 for the United States. You were tasked with remote viewing Mars, from what I understand. And the time period, I believe, was 1 million BC?
Yeah, 1 million BC.
McMoneagle was in a room with one other person, a researcher. He was given a sealed envelope and instructed not to open it. He was then given a set of geographic coordinates and asked to describe what he saw.
All right, using the information in the envelope, please focus on 40.89 degrees north, 9.55 degrees west.
I want to say it looks like, I don't know, it sort of looks like pyramids. It's very high.
Okay.
I'm seeing... It's like a perception of a shadow of people. Very, very tall, thin. It's only shadow. It's as if they were there and they're not there anymore.
Go back to a period of time where they are there.
It's like I get a lot of static on the line and everything. It's breaking up all the time. It's very fragmentary pieces.
Just report the data. Don't try to put things together. Just report the raw data.
I just keep seeing very large people. They appear thin and tall, but they're very large. Wearing some kind of strange clothes.
Who was that directed by?
Well, when it was tasked, I was sleeping in the industrial cube, the sealed cube in Bob Monroe's lab at the Monroe Institute, because we had been working on going out of body and controlling it. And I was exhausted. So we've been working. This was Sunday, I think. And he woke me up, and I said, yeah, I'm awake. What's going on? He said, well, I have some people here from Department of the Army, and they have a target for you. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, well, he said, I have an envelope here. There's nothing written on it. It's in my pocket. Tell me something about it. So it started out with a really large pyramid. And I said, first thing, words out of my mouth was, this must be a new discovery. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, because it's huge. It's bigger than the Pyramid of Giza. Must be a new discovery somewhere. And then he said, well, tell me something about it. That's what I want to know. And so I said, it's got really large rooms inside. It's kind of surprising because the way pyramids are built, that can't be done. You can't have large rooms inside because of the weight of the construction. So it must be some new form of construction. So are you sure this is not a new discovery? And he said, just tell me what I need to know. So I said, well, it appears to be some form of protection of survivors of some cataclysm. And they're in stasis. They're waiting for somebody to come. I said, but I think it's too late. I think they're all dead. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, because I feel like the messages I'm getting are like leftover mental images, things that they pass differently from normal or something like that. So he asked me some other questions. He moved me around in the target and asked me some other questions and things. And it turned out there were 6 specific targets that I was given in that particular case. And all 6 of them I described exactly what was standing there. And when I say that, I mean what was also pictured in negatives by JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California. And so I finally said, it's like a special race of people or something. I'm getting humans just like we are, but I'm not so sure they're humans like we understand human, because they're way bigger. So what do you mean? I said they're like 10 feet tall, really huge, but they're proportionately the same and very human-like. So I don't know what's going on here. I said, and the sun looks really weird. And so we basically finished the whole line of it. And I came out. I said, what's going on? And I was introduced to these people. And the guy that had brought them was Fred Atwater, my old training officer. So this was, as far as I was concerned, was an active mission, because we were still doing remote viewing with the project. And so I said, so where is this? Is this a new discovery or something? And he says, well, Bob's got the envelope. It has a target identified in it. And Bob, oh yeah, I got it right here. And he pulled it out of his shirt pocket and just opened it up as an envelope. Nothing written on it. And so we opened up the envelope, and inside it said Mars, 1 million years BC. And I said, wow. I mean, what are you going to say? But everything that's actually on the ground, I described. There is what I decided to do was, the next time I was in California, I was going to go by JPL and get copies of the negatives, because somebody said, oh, it's all BS. And I said, no, I think they're pictures, specific pictures for the different GPS locations. See, these were all GPSs that they read to me while I was in the box. The GPSs, in my mind, were for Earth. I never heard of GPSs for another planet. Mm-hmm. It turns out every planet in our universe has got GPSs that match the Earth's, because they're all spherical, as well as the moons and everything else. So I didn't understand it to be off the Earth. I thought GPSs only worked on the Earth. So that's why I kept thinking it was a new discovery. But it turned out I went to JPL, and I walked up to the counter, and I had the actual card that had the GPSs written on it. 6 or 7 GPSs. So I walked up to the desk, and the guy said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I understand all the pictures taken in space belong to the American people. And he said, of course they do. It's taxes paid for them. I said, okay, I'd like to see all the pictures for these GPSs. And he took one look at the card and said, oh, that's the old city on Mars. And opened the drawer and pulled out a packet and handed it to me. And inside the packet are all the negatives. And I blew up the negatives, and guess what's in my book? Everything I described. An old fort, pyramids, big impact crater with a road running through it, There's a road runs straight as an arrow for 1,200 kilometers on Mars that go right through the heart of a huge impact crater. And where the road comes through, you can see where the impact crater has been modified to let the road through one side and out the other. Now, here's the thing that made it real for me. The outer edges of the impact crater, they know how tall the edges are of the impact crater because there's a half-inch of shadow line around them. And they know the angle that the picture was taken and from where, and the sun's position and all that. So they can tell you that the half-inch of shadow line around the outside edge of the impact crater tells you that it's 3,000 feet high, the walls of the impact crater. That's not really a super high wall on an impact crater, but what they don't tell you, and it's shown in the picture, is in the upper rim edge of the impact crater is a little triangular piece sticks out on the side of the impact crater. That had to have been put there by somebody. It's a construct. It sticks straight out at a perfect 90-degree angle. It goes like that.
Is it part of the pyramid?
No. It's part of the wall of the impact crater. So you got an edge up here, 3,000 feet up, and there's a triangular piece that sticks out and goes back in. And on top of that is a pyramid. It looks like a pyramid because you're looking straight down on top of it. The shadow from that pyramid that you're looking straight down on top of is 2.5 inches out. Now, if the impact crater has a half-inch shadow and it's 3,000 feet tall, how tall do you think that 2.5-inch shadow is? Well, okay, how did it get there? It had to be put there after the impact crater hit, after that thing that made the impact crater had hit Mars. It couldn't have been put there before, because the impact would have
destroyed
blown it away. This thing is literally tens of thousands of feet tall. What the hell is it? So there's no doubt in my mind that what they're saying about this old city is true, because that's true. I mean, why? It's like I ask questions about it, and they just look at you like you're stupid. Say, well, we don't know. Why did you take pictures of that area of Mars? We don't know. How do you think that got? Well, we don't know.
I mean, what is your thought process after that?
I happen to think the only aliens on our planet is us. And I have good reason to say that. I think we're the aliens on this planet because we don't give one rat's butt about this planet. We take and take and take whatever we want from it. We don't give a damn what happens to the planet or anything else. We have shit so badly in our nest that you see people dying left and right of more and more cancers, and we got to go, I wonder why that's happening. It's stupidity. It's God almighty. But everybody wants to think we're the master race. We are human beings. We own the world. Everything on this planet but human cares about this planet. If a group of wolves, let's say wolves out of Alaska, if they run out of food and they can't hunt food anymore where they live, they kill off their young, they kill off their dead, they move to a place where they can find game that they can eat. Only the strong survives, but they do it to save their family unit. And they only kill and eat what they need to kill and eat. They don't do it out of savagery, and they don't do it because they're bad. They do it because they're in tune with the very world that they live in. They understand it. They operate within it. They do what's necessary to survive only. There isn't another animal on this planet that doesn't do the same thing, except for human beings. We just take what we want, and it doesn't matter what it does to the planet. And we just keep doing it over and over and over. And it's about power, money, influence in the governments of the planet, and it's a predominant reason for war. You know, it's what keeps the coffers filling up. It's part of how we can produce something that gives us lots of money back that we can enjoy. And all it costs is a little war here, a little war there. I think we came here because of something that happened on Mars. Were we the cause of it?
Yeah, well, mate.
Yeah.